Hello, Robin. How are you?
Good. How are you, Paul?
I'm very, very well, thank you. So the first question we've got for you, Robin, is this is the writing and creative journey.
Yes.
How long have you actually been involved in writing? And
I've probably been writing all my life, but not terribly confident or well about it until probably around 2014 when I started writing Aiken, which was my first novel, which took me many, many years.
Right. Which one's
Which
that?
starts right here.
Aiken. Right. Fantastic.
Yep.
Excellent. What's that critter about?
Aiken is kind of... So do you know what literary fiction is?
Literary fiction.
Fiction.
You should explain
I'll explain
that,
what literary fiction
because
is.
I probably have no idea.
Well, it's good to talk about it anyway. So literary fiction, everything I write is somewhat literary fiction. And literary fiction generally involves subjects that are a bit darker, but realistic to humanity, because humanity can be pretty dark sometimes.
Yeah,
so
someone said the same thing about the truth on my podcast.
Yeah. So although it's not specifically pessimistic, it just confronts a lot of the philosophical, existential and psychological things that we as humans go through that we may not experience in movies or books on a general basis, because a lot of media nowadays is very feel good because people just want to feel very good, or it's a short fix or something like that. So a lot of the books I write are quite intense.
Yeah, it's either feel good or they're trying to make you fearful.
Yeah. So like a lot of horror works really, really well. So it's stimulus. So these are more, they kind of bring the humanity out of you, and they can be challenging in that way, but also really beautiful in that way as well. So yeah, Aiken is one of those that's really dense in that sense, very existential and stuff. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So
It's based in the desert. It's archaic, which means it's in an ancient time. There's no technology.
Well, like we should have these days, because it'd be way quicker than setting up a live stream.
But then again, we get to communicate much more effectively using technology. So I love technology, but there's a thing about simplifying it to see the inside as well, right?
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet. Cool. Yeah, they're sticks, don't they?
Yeah, no, it's good.
All right. So, Robin, 5 words to describe you, or maybe about your writing.
Human? I'll go with the writing. I'm not good at describing myself, I suppose. For the writing, I would say human, intense, uncensored. I really loathe censorship, so I'm one of these people who I really like the truth to come out, as you were speaking about earlier. And so whether it's topics you would be kind of shying away from, which we'll get to, I'm sure, with the latest novel, and stuff like that. Okay, so I've said a few words. Verbose?
I can
Verbose?
Does that mean that you talk a lot?
I can. I'm actually introverted as well as extroverted, but when I get talking, I talk. As you can tell, like you're waiting for me some of the time, so yeah, I do.
You sound just like I do sometimes. Cool. Sam's helping us out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, now what else have we got here? The indie... what drew you into writing in the genre that you're writing?
Oh, that's a good question. What drew me into it?
It's not mine, it's Diana's.
No, it's yours, Paul. It's yours. I can't, it's just an intrinsic natural need. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how to write any other way. And it just comes naturally. It's always kind of been the way I do it. In a way, the way I write prose is similar to poetry in a sense, because poetry generally tries to examine something in an abstract way, but it's emotional. And so the prose I write, and I've actually had that feedback from people that even though it's prose, somehow there's a sense of poetry to it. So I think that that's probably what drew me to it, is to write really good poetry, because I'm not necessarily that adept at poetry, but prose is my thing. So.
Right. And people are making that connection.
Yeah, they are. Like people will read the prose and they'll be like, there's a rhythm to it, or the wording to it, there's like a song to it of sorts, even though it's a story, you know? So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, and then the other question was about the indie author experience of writing and getting the books out there.
Yeah. It's obviously a tough process because you want people to read your stuff, but for me it's not about, I want people to really read it because the stuff I write is a bit intense. It's a bit different than a lot of the other stuff that's available out there. So I wouldn't say it's a niche audience, because I think most people who do end up reading it find something beautiful and special about it because it's human and accessible, but it's not necessarily fantasy, romance, or horror or mystery in and of itself. It does contain themes like that, but I don't sell it as like a genre fiction specifically. So sometimes talking to people is the best way to kind of do that.
Get the message across.
Get the message across.
And
yeah.
that's the big element of marketing of your books, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a bit like my podcast, because I interview somebody different every episode.
Yeah.
So they get the same questions, but
Yeah.
they don't link, like, it's not a football podcast. Or
Yeah.
So you have the similar issue by the sound of things.
Yeah. Well, it's not an issue specifically. It's just what if I get to talk to people, then it's different. Then they get intrigued because they're kind of getting a flavor for something they may not get that often, so they're not attuned to it. But then they realize, oh, I do kind of like this and want this kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. So if someone else was to start authoring, being an indie author, what 3 tips could you give them?
Just keep writing a lot and try to write the same thing over and over and over again. If you're learning to, because that teaches you how to communicate and connect your brain to the words that you're actually getting out there. I would say that's the main thing.
That's like a perfect practice type principle, is it?
If we have time, I'd like to discuss the latest novel I have, because it's highly controversial, and I feel like we're kind of avoiding the subject, so I'd like to get to it.
Before Sam kicks us
Yeah,
off,
exactly. What is your first reaction when you see that title? Is it recoil?
Yeah, it's a bit of recoil.
It's a bit of recoil,
it's
right?
like, what's going on here?
Okay, so what is the title of the novel?
The Pedophile.
Yeah, so to be clear, the novel doesn't promote or condone any form of abuse in any way, shape, or form.
Glad to hear that.
I didn't intend to disclaim that at every go, but I've learned that I kind of have to at times because people don't know what to expect and stuff. So this novel is actually interesting because it's an uncommon topic. It's about an individual who identifies as having those tendencies but doesn't act on it at all. And so again, you kind of get the feel of literary fiction where it's exploring someone who's a very moral individual but has those tendencies, and so what they might suffer as a result.
Right. So it's almost the impact or the trauma that they might experience themselves because they've headed down a track and they're not really...
Well, not headed, you might be born with it. Like they say, it's a genetic thing and you're kind of born that way. So it really empathizes with, so it kind of humanizes a character that we would never, ever consider humanizing. So as you can see, if you see the title, you might recoil, but then you talk about it, it's like, oh, I don't know if I'll read it necessarily, but it does seem like an intriguing premise, right? So yeah.
And if someone wanted to read your books, where would they go?
You can go on Amazon, you can go online. You got to sell on Amazon nowadays, and there's hard copy and soft copy, and it's actually going very well. Like, in fact, this novel surprisingly is getting a lot of positive feedback, which I was a bit afraid I'd get more pushback, but there really isn't very much pushback at all once people read the back cover and actually read the novel. So
yeah, a little bit of knowledge goes a long way.
Yeah, empathy. It's much more widespread than you would have thought, but yeah. Are we getting kicked out now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we'll meet you.
Thanks very much, Paul.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome.